welcome to another episode of Lexx Education, the comedy science podcast where comedian me, Laura
Lexx
tries to learn science from her back from his holidays, brother Ron.
Bonjour, je suis Ron.
Bonjour, mon frère, ça va?
Ça va bien, merci.
Vous avez une bonne holiday?
Oui.
Très bien. Quoi mange something nice? Sorry,
Yes.
Duolingo Al. It didn't stay in my brain.
Yes, I had a lovely time. I was in Brussels, I was in Paris, I was in Switzerland, specifically Grand Vaux, which is a village outside of Lausanne.
Los Angeles?
Lausanne.
Gillies?
Gillies.
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 Which was your favourite, Brussels, Paris or Switzerland?
Switzerland.
Ooh. Big money dollar on Switzerland. Are you now going to move to Switzerland?
No, it's at least not where my friend lives. It's just so rural. Like I thought.
We've done enough rural, haven't we, in our lives?
I think.
We grew up rural, and now we're city slickers, big time business boys.
Yeah, I just like stuff going on and amenities.
Yeah. Sorry. Cut this, but Mum. Well, I'm glad you've had a lovely time, Ron, and we're swapping. I'm going away on Friday, which I'm very excited about.
Yes, and we don't have any episodes in the bank for that.
We've got nothing. We've got this one, which is going on now, and then we've got nothing. Tomorrow needs to be a doozy. I'm going to think really hard in the car tonight about what we're going to do for our 100th episode.
Who are you driving to the gig that you're going to later?
No one, just me.
Oh, so no guest this year?
No. We didn't do a guest. No, Ron, this is the 100th, not the 2-year. We didn't have a guest for our 50th.
I suppose we didn't mention the 50th, did we?
No, it was nothing.
Right, okay, so we've got a guest for the 2-year. Great.
Yeah, it's your turn this year. I got a Star O'Brien. Now let's see who you get.
No, because all you bring to the podcast is star clout. So can you bring some again, please?
No. I'll see what I can do. Anyway, Ron, I'm very glad you're back. You haven't edited this episode, so we're going into a cloud of mystery.
Yeah, going in fucking blind. Here's a fun thing. Editing it right now so I can interject whatever I want. Whenever I want. New things. Yeah, I think this is the first time this has ever happened, isn't it?
Yeah, Mabes. Is this the one with the ear squelch noises?
I have no idea. Haven't edited it.
I think this might be. I think this episode might contain the most disgusting thing that's ever happened on the podcast.
Oh, no.
You know where my headphone was making my ear squelch, or has that already gone out?
I feel like I've edited that.
Did you cut it?
I might be wrong. Can't remember.
I don't
Probably
feel like
not.
I've listened to it.
Maybe not then. Who knows? Exciting.
Who knows? It's so exciting. Yeah, so it's a recap one, isn't it? So it's physics. So you perverts all like that, but ugh.
Is it a recap one?
Yeah.
Didn't we just put out a recap?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm confused. No, you're absolutely...
Yeah, I think it's a biology.
Oh, God. Yeah, what's happened is I haven't put the title of the last one into the spreadsheet. So, yes, you're totally right, Ron. It's a biology.
Greg Ahead. Great episode.
Greg Ahead.
I listened to that on the train because, when I haven't... when Laura does the intros on her own, I do listen.
I wrote husband of the podcast in.
Yes, yeah. Thank goodness.
Yeah, he was very drunk.
He was very cross at us.
He's always cross at me.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes me.
No. I think, but all of his podcasts have fucking fallen through, so I don't think he should be shimmying dirt at anyone.
Here's the thing though, Ron. He has standards for his podcast, and if his podcast had the listenership ours has, he wouldn't do it anymore. He doesn't persevere even though it's not successful, whereas we do.
but we are successful.
Oh, we're successful in what we measure it in, whereas Tom measures things in, like, money and is it worth our time?
Look,
Whereas we've met cool people and we're having a great time. Shut up, leave us alone.
We make the princely sum of £12.50 each per episode.
Yeah.
And, okay, and, sure, if you factor in that's at least, 3 hours of work for
Actually,
each
that's
one.
not minus all of the costs of running the podcast.
That's true.
I think it's more like... Let's not focus. Let's not focus. It doesn't matter, all right? The whole podcast is a tax write-off for me, and that's fine. I love it. You love it. Both the listeners love it. And that's... Oh, my God, Ron. Yes, I haven't really talked to you about this. I met one of the lurkers this week.
Hello, lurker.
Yeah. Have I remembered his name? No. John? Might be John.
Don't just throw out John, because
Why?
John's a common name.
No, might have been John. He was a trainer. I remember that. Lives in Bristol. You might know him, Ron.
Oh, John the trainer.
You don't know him. Don't be doing that.
Yeah, no, I'm obviously taking the piss. Although John the trainer, if you work at Workout Bristol, I might know you.
Oh. He came to a show I did in Bristol on Thursday and said hi and was like, I'm a big fan of the podcast, blah, blah, blah. And we got chatting about everything, and I was like, yeah, but I don't think he's a patron, and he's never interacted before. And I was like, you're one of the silent majority that just quietly listens, and it was very exciting to meet him.
Why didn't he sign up to the Patreon, though?
I don't know, many reasons. Lots of podcasts to listen to, doesn't want to. I don't care, Ron. I quite like the lurkers. I was excited about it. Don't look for the negatives, Ron.
Well.
Ron?
Yeah?
Look at the positives here.
Yeah, great.
All right. Well, listen. Have fun with this episode that neither of us can remember, or tell you anything about, and we'll see you afterwards for more nonsense.
Can't find the sound effect. Ring! Ready?
Yes. I've only got one pen, though. He wasn't ready. I was ready. The worst part about this is it's a Ron's record, so I know he's not going to cut any of this. If this was me, this would just all vanish. Where's it gone? He's actually left the room. Episode 99. May or may not be a really good episode next week, depending on if I finally came out of my brain slug and sorted us a guest. I really need to. I just haven't got a stunning idea. I need to have a stunning idea. Not had one. The water boy's gone to get more water. It's a very nice sunset at my house.
Alright, I'm back.
I'm quite mad at you, Ron.
Why?
I just went upstairs to the roof to get my notepad, and I've just remembered that you took that fucking mouldy chair and just stuck it by the front door, and it's still there. And now I'm the gross neighbour that just has gross furniture in their front garden, and I hate you for
Throw it
that.
away.
How? I don't know how to throw it away.
Literally put it in the wheelie bin.
Why didn't you put it in the wheelie bin?
Because I think we were halfway through recording a podcast, or I don't know, your child had shit at a shoe or something.
Well, that's my life all the time. I wish you'd just left it up there.
To rot.
Yes, Because now it's just rotting out the front door.
That's where things should rot. Maybe a pigeon can form a home in it.
We found an entire tree trunk on the beach today.
Oh, wow.
That's exciting, isn't it? Thinking about where did that tree come out of the ground and get in the sea and come to us? And it looked like it was bleeding, which we assumed was just...
Your microphone's doing the thing a bit.
Is it? Why have you started doing that, microphone? How about now? Is that better?
Talk a bit more.
Hello and welcome to the podcast.
No,
My
still
name
doing
is
it.
Laura. Okay, hang on. How about now, Ron?
Talk a bit more.
So this tree trunk, yeah, it looked like it was bleeding, which we thought was probably
still
just...
doing it. Yeah, I recognise his face. He's been in stuff.
Yeah, he has been. He's very funny. It's very clowny. He's very good.
Well, I like a bit of clowning.
Yeah, you'd enjoy him. He just has a bit where he just stands on a wobble board. It's good. Is my microphone stopped making weird noises now?
Yes.
Okay, it feels weird to go back to the log, but anyway, we found a log on the beach and it looked like it was bleeding, but we assumed that was just sap coming out of it. But it was covered in flies. The flies were loving it.
Ugh.
Yeah. And I made a joke about it being a whale's dick. But
Oh, yeah?
Tom sort of smiled in a good try, Laura. kind of way. Hee hee.
Best bit of comedy I've seen recently is, I think it was Josh Norris had a bit about how comedians time their big laughs so they can take a glass of water, but he's not very good at doing that. And then it's just him every time the audience laughs, dashing across the stage to go take a glass of, to take a drink. It was very, very well done.
Sorry.
What you doing?
I was just texting Tom.
Oh, about the log.
No, I said, please will you bring me back lots and lots of really nice crisps of different kinds.
Yeah.
I want a crisp feast.
Is it because I said someone else was good at comedy?
No, but...
You like Josh Norris?
I love Josh Norris. I find him really funny. Yeah, I do. I find it hard to get going on the lessons bit. We've just done a lovely intro outro. It's a shame that wasn't the only record.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing today, biology?
Yeah.
Oh, Ron, I'm not in a very good mood.
No, your mood's really crashed in between these two records as well.
No, I was in a bad mood in the last one, but because sorry about the burps, they were only 15 minutes long. I just thought, get on with it, Laura, get through it. And I did, I'm a professional. But this is 45 minutes, and I'm not professional for 45 minutes.
Should we just take a break? Should we do something else?
Do you want to play your guitar?
No, not really.
No, I think we should just crack on, because now it's 8:20, and
No, I'm not saying we don't record, but we could just wax lyrical about what's... we could take a look at the news. There's surely going to be good stuff there that would cheer us.
There's nothing there. But I had a weird point today where I was when you realise how indoctrinated you are about something? Do you ever get those moments?
Nah, work as fuck, mate.
And today's moment was I was hang on a minute. I'm assuming then, given that World War III is starting this week, I think I might be on Iran's side. And that felt mad because of how indoctrinated we are in this country to the news being anti-Middle East, and just they're all crazy and we're the saviours. And I was just hold up. No, well, not that I'm on their side, because I just think all warmongering is dreadful. But it was a weird moment of realising how how propagandized you've been through your life is going like, it felt weird to kind of go, well, actually, Iran might have a leg to stand on?
Well, absolutely they do, yeah. 16 of their people were killed in a foreign country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's like, do you support retaliation of an eye for an eye? Which I don't. But I don't know, that's how world politics works, isn't it? You fight each other. God, it's depressing.
I don't necessarily support an eye for an eye, but you also do have... Yeah... I don't know, what seems odd with... Are we doing this? What seems odd with everything that's going on in the world at the moment is we seem to have gone back to the 1940s where we just bombed civilian populations to get a point across rather than military targets, which is odd to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel horrible because I feel like I've been horribly underspoken about it. But I've been the most sort of overread I think I've ever been about a thing. But there is this like messiness of wanting to be vocal in the right direction, but then also having learned a lot of lessons in the last 5 or 6 years about like when my voice is appropriate and when it is my turn to talk and when it is the right time to sit back. And I think that you see so many different opinions on where are all the voices that were anti this? Why are they not condemning this? And you go, oh God, I need to say something, or I'm a despot, fascist piece of shit. But then you're like, but actually is an uninformed voice any help? But then you sit there and you think, well, is silence ever the right answer? But then you think, am I just saying meaningless platitudes? But then you think like, well, unless everybody says the meaningless platitude, like you want to say things like all killing is wrong, please stop killing, but then you think, oh, that's just nonsense, who's going to say that? But then you think, but actually does it take the entire world to stand up and say that for anybody to listen? And does the fact that we're all thinking that but not saying it add to the sense that the people who... do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I mean, I do think that everything that's going on at the moment is one of those situations that is so not a grey area that I don't think people have to be too worried about being uninformed.
It's not that it's not a grey area, but there are absolutely ways that it is hurtful to speak about it to people who are very close to me. And it is one of the conflicts, like say we compare like Israel, Gaza to Russia, Ukraine. I don't think, to my knowledge, I have any Russian friends. I have an awful lot of Jewish friends. And the Israel-Gaza conflict, for many, many reasons, is very intertwined with the anti-Semitism being hugely on the rise and the feeling of insecurity for an awful lot of Jewish people. And so it feels like to speak or not speak, it's not that I would say anything that I would sort of lay blame at the feet of Jewish people or whatever for what is going on with Israel, but it feels like to speak has an effect on them. It has an effect on people close to my circle in a way that other atrocities and conflicts do not. Like I can comment on the atrocity in Australia in the weekend just given without adding emotional burden at the feet of like people I know.
Fair enough, I guess. Yeah.
It's just big, isn't it?
Yeah, strange times.
Is this the detour that we should do instead of doing the biology?
Cut that.
Sure, edit, you won't cut it.
No, probably not. What can I see? What's on the desk? A blue Sharpie and a biro.
I've got all of this stuff here. We had to use a lot of childcare this week. I've gone back to work full time. And so we've got a lovely regular babysitter. Actually, regular listener of the podcast, Danny, is our new babysitter for Child of the Podcast.
Hey, Danny.
So these are all my instructions for how to keep Child of the Podcast alive. My favourite part of this is where I said, after dinner, can offer chocolate button ×1. And then, because we have to keep a food diary for Child of the Podcast at the moment, chocolate buttons eaten, 12. Child of the Podcast, it turns out, is an absolute sassfest in convincing people who are not her parents to do anything she wants. Child of the Podcast, I mean, you've seen her in the last 2 weeks. That child is semi-capable of some things, managed to convince Danny she can change her own nappy.
Wow.
She can't change her own nappy. Not at all. Not even close, mate. No. She doesn't make me laugh, though.
Yeah,
I love
she's
that.
cool.
Just, Mum and Dad aren't here. I wonder what I can do. I've seen these things being changed. Let me see if I can do it. You can't, child. You absolutely can't.
Why are you keeping a food diary? Because she never poops.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's still not pooping.
No, she is. She's doing really, really well this week. But we are just continuing to keep the food diary just so that, you know, if it comes back around again,
you can track it down.
We've done the research, you know?
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I'm glad she's pooing.
Yeah. I'm glad we're all pooing.
Yeah, I've been doing great poos recently.
I was doing really good ones, and then the last few days I've been back at work, so my eating's been a bit sporadic. Oh. It's been nice to be at work, though. I did Radio 4 this week.
Yeah, how did that go?
Well, it's confusing, Ron, because it goes out to a lot of people. I didn't get a single tweet or message about it, and you just kind of feel like you just shouted it off a bridge. I quite liked my piece. I thought it was all right.
Oh, yeah. How did our stuff about the runner go down?
It went well. They wanted it to be more about running and less about politics, and I was like, no.
Do you know who my sounding board is?
Yeah, and I was just like, there's just no point having a platform if you just don't use it to do a little bit. But I think it's the happiest I've been in the room doing that, because
That's good.
I think when you're writing for a show like that, I write in such a different voice to what I perform in and what I'm like, and then it's exactly the same as what happened with Mock the Week. My last go on Mock the Week was my favourite one because I'd worked out how to be me on it, and then obviously it never happened again. And I feel like I got there with the Now Show. I was like performing it and messing about and being myself, and I was like, I've got this. This is great. This is how I do it. And then, you know, but I really liked it.
That's fun. And you've got a new voiceover artist now too. Voiceover agent.
Yeah.
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 Radio is basically voiceover, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how I got there. Sorry.
You should do some more adverts, and I won't delete these ones.
The adverts were fun. Yeah. Yeah, they were.
Oh, I meant to say in the intros, outros for the last episode that the Francis Galton episode goes out this Friday. So, hey, look out in your feed a couple of weeks ago for the Francis Galton episode.
Yeah, we didn't do many plugs because we took for 25 minutes about other things.
Yeah, and to be fair, we've been on this chat for 11 minutes and we haven't done any
Has
science
this only
here
been
either.
11 minutes? Fuck.
But Ron, we haven't done anything. You can't
Yeah.
say, has it only been 11 minutes, when all we've done is talk about, like, a genocide that you want to edit out anyway.
Yeah, it's just this has felt like forever.
Yeah, we got real heavy, man.
Ugh.
This is why we
Yeah.
don't do a politics podcast.
No.
Are you still listening
No.
to your politics podcast?
The news agents? Yeah, I am. I don't listen to every episode, though. Only the ones that have interesting topics.
Only the ones with nudity.
Well.
Do you think anybody out there performs their podcast in the nude? I bet there's a nude podcast.
Probably.
Google the naked podcast. I bet that's a thing, Ron.
The Naked Podcast, BBC Radio Sheffield.
Oh.
Oh, yep. The Filth and the Fury. Two besties in the buff are on a mission to get to the naked truth. Yorkshire duo Jenny Eales and Kat Harborne undress with a guest for revealing confessions and conversations.
Yeah.
Who are these
it.
guests?
Not me.
Come hairy or wax, shaven or plucked, a cervical screening special with Dr. Naomi Sutton. I look kind of like a melted Barbie doll. Steph Kent talks about her gastric bypass, weight loss, loose skin, and dramatic surgery. Wigs have become an epic journey for me. Custom wig maker Hayley Ekwubiri talks hair loss, motherhood, and empowering others. I think this sounds like a very positive podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we see if you can go on it?
I think it's all women. I don't think they'd want me for the Viva La Vulva special, to be honest.
But you always Viva La Vulva.
Look, I will evolve like the best of them, but I just don't think they should be taking a platform away from a naked woman and giving it to me.
Yeah, all right. Even if it's to the positive of this podcast.
Of this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, probs.
Oh, all right. Should we do some science, Ron?
Yeah, fine.
It's biology. You can't be mad about biology, surely.
I was trying to do a fun segment where we talked about all the things on our desks.
Were you? I think that was in the... Oh, was that in this?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's been ages.
Oh, yeah, because I picked up the notepad and then we started talking about chocolate buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. 4.6.2.3.
I've got these cool rainbow straws. Have you seen these?
Oh.
Reusable silicone straws. This
Cool.
one is rainbow.
Wow. You're trying a lot of different straws.
I just want her to drink some milk.
Why?
Because they have to have calcium.
Give it to her in like a biscuit or something.
A calcium biscuit?
I don't know.
Okay, please don't give advice unless you know that the thing that you're advising exists.
All right, well, we'll Google calcium biscuit. There you go. McVitie's thin arrowroot. Do you have a lot of calcium?
Yeah.
No, hang on. Yeah, it's got calcium in it. It's not really advertising its calcium properties. Hang on. There's calcium in biscuits, man. There's 235 milligrams per 100 grams of biscuit.
Is that a lot?
I don't know. How much calcium's in milk?
Loads. I don't know.
There's only 125 milligrams of calcium in 100 grams of milk. So, if anything, you should be feeding this kid biscuits.
Okay, more biscuits for Child of the Podcast.
All right. And for some reason, McVitie's thin arrowroot 200 grams popped up first. I've never heard of these biscuits. I've got to be honest, they look a bit anemic and weird. Let's check the reviews. 4.4 out of 5.
Oh, that's
Lovely.
not bad.
Lovely biscuits, very much the same as rich tea, but less sweet, nice and crunchy. Lovely with a cup of tea. My kids loved them. Great value for money. Plain and simple. I had never heard of these biscuits before and wasn't sure what to expect. The name put me off slightly, as I imagined it tasting like a herb, but thankfully they were more like a plain but thinner digestive. Not something I would usually go for, and maybe not choose again. But nice with a cup of tea. 3 out of 5 stars. Tasty! I found these biscuits super tasty. They remind me of rich tea biscuits in both taste and texture, so if you're a fan of them, you'll certainly like these. They are at such a good price point for a little snack. 5 out of 5 stars. That's Millie GC. Nice biscuits.
Ron, we simply have to do some science. We simply can't make this podcast just us begging people to stop listening, okay? It can't be that.
I'm kind of just fascinated as to who the fuck's writing these.
People like you. You're reading it out on your own podcast.
Yeah, but who's reviewing biscuits on
You, Ron.
Sainsbury's.co.uk?
A couple of weeks ago, you had a whole segment about a box of broken biscuits that you'd bought. And you spent quite a long time asking me to guess how much they'd cost, how much they weighed, and then ferreting around in the box 4 different biscuits to tell me about your favourite ones.
Youngest
now,
sister of the
we're
podcast.
18 minutes into this episode, and you're talking about other people's reviews of biscuits. You are a biscuit guy.
The youngest sister of the podcast said that was her favourite moment of the podcast so far. Or something to that
And
effect.
then she left us a 1-star review. It just said, lack of biscuits in every other episode.
This person's written 4 paragraphs, Laura.
About a biscuit.
Yeah,
A
and then given it
milky
3 out of
biscuit.
5. Tim H52.
Tim.
In the realm of biscuit preferences, taste can be subjective, as evidenced by the divergent experiences within my own household with thin arrowroot
away.
biscuits by
No,
McVitie's. While my personal palate did not align with these biscuits, my father found them to be a brilliant rich tea alternative. And then he has 3 more paragraphs about these biscuits. It's quite well written.
I imagine him sitting down at a desk with a list of everything he ate the day before and starting to type reviews, like searching through the web for everywhere that thing is on offer to put that review. And then the sun goes down and he takes off his glasses and rubs his weary eyes and is like, there aren't enough hours in the day for this. I don't understand how other people are holding down a full-time job and reviewing everything to a 4-paragraph standard.
Especially when you have to spend so much time saying that some people like some things and other people don't like those
Well,
things.
I don't want to be unfair to the idea of arrowroot. I understand it is not for the common palate.
And father does like the arrowroot.
I've got an annoying thing, Ron. I'm listening to an audiobook, right? The first book was like 30 hours long, and now I'm on the second one.
Is this your vampires one?
Yeah. And it's like, it's all done with a vampire slayer is telling his story through it, right? But then about 10 hours into this second book, they've switched the perspective of who's telling the story for a second because the interviewer goes and interviews someone else. So they've changed the narrator. And one, that's a little bit annoying because I was kind of enjoying the narrator. But because it's now switched to a female perspective, they've decided they need a female narrator. That's kind of annoying. But the most annoying thing is they've not pronounced the names the same.
Oh.
And this is a modern book. Like, when did you and Tom, you Googled it the other day. Like, the first book was written in 2021 or whatever.
Yeah,
this has been written in the last 3 years. You're aware of the world. Even if this second narrator didn't have to listen to all of the first books, because they've done different accents for different characters and stuff, so it's kind of confusing and annoying. But they're just not even pronouncing the names the same. And you're like, this is basics, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Surely the producer or whatever should have picked
Right?
that up in a second.
It's really quite annoying.
Yeah. That is odd.
Yeah.
All right, Laura. Should we do some science?
Yeah, we should. We've only got 20 minutes left.
There we go. That's not very long, is it? We can burn through that.
I kept my mouth shut, so that doesn't count as a burp. That was more like a
Just
tummy
hear it
rumble.
echoing around your big head.
I do have a big head.
Right, Laura. Here we go. 4.6.2.3 selective breeding. So we've been kind of going through genetics and stuff again in biology, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we're going on to, I think, what is new ground, pastures green when it comes to it, because I don't think we've really talked about selective breeding before, have we?
You say new as well. I say new. I don't think Mum or Dad say new. I think they say new.
New.
But you say new.
New.
We're on new ground.
That's new. That's new. That's new. That's new. That's new. That's new. I've got a new TV show. I've got a new TV show that I like to watch. These shoes are new. These shoes are new.
I think I'm going to leave us a 1-star review. Fucking hell. I think that's it. I'm out. That was it. That was the straw that broke the 7th disc. Biscuits. New biscuits.
I do not like these new biscuits.
Arrow newt.
I was just looking at some other products on the Sainsbury's website, actually. This one's a 4 out of 5
Oh my God, I found black beans in Sainsbury's the other day, Ron.
Nice!
Yeah, did have an Asda. Sainsbury's had 2 different types. Me and Ron were looking for black beans to make bean burgers.
Yeah. No, this one...
They had old El Pasos and they had another kind.
Oh.
You were actually distracted reading biscuit reviews.
No, now I'm reading reviews for 1 litre of vegetable oil. 4 out of 5 stars. Bottle caps.
Hey.
Did the designer try them out? The oil is fine. The problems with the bottle caps has been discussed on here since pre-COVID. Why? Surely someone can sort this out. Quality, 5 out of 5. Taste, 5 out of 5. Value, 4 out of 5.
When they say
Edna
vegetable...
Loy.
What vegetable?
A mix.
Do they all have oil in them?
Everything's got oil in it.
Everything.
Yeah.
I tried to tell my audience last night about burning coal was a clean type of energy, and they thought I was crazy.
Tell me exactly what you told them.
I said coal was cleaner than wood.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah. So I said, burn coal. Don't have a wood burner.
Palm, canola, coconut, safflower, corn, peanut, cottonseed, palm kernel, and soybean.
What's
All vegetable oils.
safflower?
Safflower.
Safflower. It's a flower.
It's safflower. It's a new safflower.
Hi.
Safflower. Oh, safflowers are pretty. They look kind of like a disco dandelion. Right. Selective breeding, Laura.
The podcast because the podcast calls Lion King Baby Ra,
Yeah.
and she calls
idiot.
lions Ra.
Yeah.
I was talking to her about flowers this week because we've been walking to the swimming pool a lot and we walk past a lot of flowers. So she now knows what tulips are and daisies and all sorts. And I was like, and these ones are dandelions. And she was walking along going, dandy rah, rah, rah. Dandy rah, rah. She calls them dandy rahs. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're cool.
That's very funny.
Dandy rah.
Dandy rah.
I think Dandy Rah might be my drag name.
I like it. I like it a lot. Poisonous milk.
Yeah. Do they make you piss yourself?
I honestly believed when I was a kid that I'd just die.
I thought I'd piss the bed. I thought that if you got dandelion milk on your fingers, you'd wet the bed.
Really?
Yeah.
I've not heard that one.
That's what I
I used
thought.
to like playing with dandelion tubes. They've got a satisfying stem.
This might be the stupidest thing I've ever said out loud. And the second I ask you the question, I'm going to regret it. But you know dandelion clocks?
No.
The fuzzy ones with the like...
Dandelions, yeah. They're called clocks.
Yeah, dandelion clock. And you blow
Okay.
it to see what the time is.
What?
No. However many puffs it takes to get all of the little whiskers off it, that's what time it is.
Let's move on. That seems like you're older than me.
But, like, are they the boy flowers and the yellow ones are the girls? Is it like a pollination thing? Why are they both dandelions?
It's different stages. It is the yellow flower, and then once it's been pollinated, it turns into the clock.
What?
Yeah.
How?
It just grows.
What? Where does all the yellow go? What the fuck? They're the same.
Yeah. Those are seeds. The little tufts.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
So it goes yellow and it goes into being a flower.
Yeah, and then bees and that will pollinate it.
There's loads of
They'll
bumblebees
fuck its
this
little
year.
mouth and get it all pregnant.
And then the yellow like folds back in,
I think so, yeah.
comes
and
back
then
out again as
it comes back out again as a big white
a little
afro.
grey-haired lady.
And then you're coming around going, what time is it? and then,
Helping it out by spreading its seed everywhere.
Yeah. Just blowing its jizz all over the place.
We stole a load out of our neighbour's garden today.
Why?
Child of the podcast wanted more and we'd run out in our garden, so I just leant over and picked theirs.
Pick their what?
Dandelions.
The boys or the girls?
Girls.
Oh.
Well, actually, technically they'd be the boys, wouldn't they? Because they're the ones spreading the seed.
I don't
They're
know
the
which
same
one you
ones.
mean by boys
They're
and
the
girls.
same ones.
They're the same, yeah.
I never knew that. I can never tell Tom this. Ow!
Why? Did you really confidently tell him that they were boys and girls?
No, but I really laughed at him when he said he thought the brown speckled seagulls were the girls and the white ones were the boys. And I was like, no, the brown speckled ones are the juveniles, you idiot. And he'd always thought they were the girls.
Yeah, people in shit houses didn't take shits. Right, Laura. 4.6.2.
Why are we procrastinating on the one where we've got loads of the syllabus left?
I don't know. I'm trying to keep this
You're not.
I just said, Laura, 4.6.2.3.
Which you know is no way to get me interested because I hate the numbers bit.
Selective breeding, Laura. What can you tell me about it?
We've done this.
All right, we'll skip that bit. 4.6.2.
Haven't we talked about this really?
I don't think so. Well, tell me what you know about it, and then we'll
So
I'll
it's
see.
like, if I'm building a breeding milky herd of milk cows, I'm going to look at the cow that's got the most milk coming, and I'm going to want to breed her a lot in the hope that milkiness is coming into her kids. And if I'm generally trying to build bigger and bigger sheep, I'm going to get my bigger sheep and I'm going to use those for my breeding and I'll eat my smaller sheep, Or if I want sheep with real thick fur, I'm going to breed the thickest fur in the herd the most and try and keep those traits going.
All right, and what are the upsides and downsides of this?
Downsides, you never know what's connected to those bits. So thick fur might go hand in hand with kidney failure, and then you're getting a lot of thick-furred sheep with kidney failure. You're also probably smalling up the gene pool because you're giving yourself fewer sheep to breed from. And the healthiest way to have a population is to have a wide variety of breeding because it gives you good dispersal of problems.
Yeah, all right, yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a really tiny gene pool, but it does mean that you have to manage it quite well. You do have to stay on top of it and make sure that you're not doing that. Let me just scan. And you do this with plants as well. That's the other thing that you've missed out there.
Yeah, I don't really understand plants.
No, that's become startlingly apparent over the last 5 minutes.
There's some plants that you breed from seeds, and then there's some plants that you have to, graft.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild, isn't it?
Yeah. An interesting example of selective breeding, Laura, is the wild mustard plant Brassica oleracea.
I think she played Alex Mack in The Secret World of Alex Mack.
No, it's actually mother of the podcast's favourite restaurant, Cote de Brassica. Niche.
This is terrible, but for a second.
Brassica oleracea, Laura. Mm-hmm. Do you know why it's an interesting example of selective breed?
Because it bred itself.
Ooh, the door's just closed. Look at that.
Even your housemates don't want to listen to our podcast.
No, I don't think they ever have.
Do they know you do it?
Yeah, they once heard me screaming at you and thought I was really giving out to someone in my team at work, and I had to be like, no, that's not the kind of manager that I am.
That's the kind of teacher and brother I am.
No, breeding itself, that's just that's non-selective breeding, isn't it? That's what all things do everywhere all the time.
Nah, they do select. The whole point of evolution is that it's selective breeding, isn't it?
Yeah, but artificial selection is human intervention on that.
Are we talking about artificial selection then?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't say that.
Well, it's apparent through context.
It's not.
Yes, it was.
No, it isn't.
Because then why were all of your examples about thick kidney failure sheep?
Because I was really trying to make it not about learning so that you wouldn't go, it's so interesting that you're a little slugworm who's interested in learning.
No, just because you have less self-esteem than you have hair on the side of your head does not mean that was an insult. I find it interesting that you anthropomorphise
I don't know if you understand how my brain works, Ron, but I take everything anybody ever notices about me to be a criticism, okay? So sue me.
I am very vocal when I'm criticising you. Please don't read into the things that aren't criticisms, because I want you to feel the full impact of the criticisms I mean to lay at you.
And I do, Ron. But this isn't an either-or situation. This is a yes and. This is, dumb bins. And, well done, Laura. You answered that correctly. And all I'm hearing is the gaping chasm of the things that I did not answer correctly.
Yeah, sort that out, mate. Maybe eat an ice cream. I
gave Child of the podcast an ice cream yesterday morning. I got a mint choc chip. And she just sat there eating and going, toothpaste.
Yeah, that's fair. So, I made all that hummus, last week.
Yeah.
Struggling to get through it, man. Kilo of hummus. So then we had a barbecue yesterday.
You can't barbecue hummus.
I thought it would be funny to get some cones and then give people that. I was talked out of it, but I thought that would have been really funny.
That would have been really funny. Would you have frozen it?
No, I don't think I would have.
You could still do that over the summer. You could freeze a tub of hummus and then be like, guys, I got an ice cream maker. And your friends would be so polite they wouldn't want to tell you it was disgusting. That's a great prank.
Yeah, I'll think of a way to pull that off. Tricko.
Big summer trigger.
Laura, the wild mustard plant is an interesting example of selective breeding because of all of the different things that we have selectively bred out of it. Cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, kale, and kohlrabi are all just this plant, but bred in different directions.
Brassicas.
Yeah, Brassica oleracea. So with cauliflower, they just bred the ones that had big flower buds, and then that eventually becomes the cauliflower.
I really like cauliflower now I'm a vegetarian. I've grown to love it.
I like it, but it's not as good as broccoli.
I actually finally had a broccoli I genuinely enjoyed yesterday. I made a miso paste sauce thing with miso, soy sauce, maple syrup, oil, and something else in it to put on aubergines and have baked aubergines. And then I had half a broccoli in the fridge. So I was like, I'm just going to whack that in and I'll smack some of this paste on that too. Roasted it in that paste. Actually delicious. I actively wished I had more of it. I've never felt like that about a green vegetable before.
You do have a child's mouth. I love broccoli. I genuinely, at least once a week, would have steamed broccoli for lunch.
Yuck.
With some sweet potatoes and some sprouts. Yuck. Sometimes a red pepper.
I like
often
red pepper.
Homemade hummus.
Yeah.
I used to grate cheese on that to bring me some joy, but I don't do that anymore. I don't have cheese in the house. It's gone.
I've been grating carrot on a lot of stuff.
Instead of cheese, that's fucking deranged, you ugly hippie.
No, just like on a salad.
Oh, right, that's fine.
Like nachos with grated carrot all over it instead of cheese.
Pizza.
God, I'm depressed. I'm not that depressed.
No, yeah, I like a bit of grated carrot. It's good in salads because then it holds on to all of the fat and sugar I put on salads.
Yeah, it really holds on to balsamic well. It's so wet.
It means you kind of have to eat that salad that session, though, because I find all of the liquid will pour out of it when you put it in some kind of box.
Yeah, but here's the thing about you, Ron. You cook like a Middle Eastern grandmother for like friends and offspring that you simply don't have. Like, it's like you're unaware of the concept of just making food for the meal you're about to have. I don't think I've ever known you cook anything that didn't require 8 Tupperwares.
I show love through cooking. So, and then I make lots because I love
Absolutely. Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
You and me, same choir, buddy.
And, it's just like,
But like when you're grating carrot, just grate how much you want to eat today, and then stop grating and put the carrot back in the fridge.
Oh, no, but like, what am I going to do with half a carrot?
Grate it tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Well, then, I don't know.
And then it won't be weeping carrot pus all over your fridge.
Why don't put loose grated carrot in the fridge? It's in a box. I'm just saying that it gets a bit wet in my salad.
Yeah, but then if you don't grate it, it won't get wet. It's like keeping your carrot in a nappy. That's what a carrot is, a nappied carrot.
I often start cooking meals and then try and invite people over halfway through. Because I've made too much food. There's
A
some
number of
bean.
times I've spoken to you on a Thursday and you are on your fourth of the same lunch because you just made so much on a Monday, and then you try and pass it off as batch cooking when actually it's just Monday's lunch got out of hand.
Well, the thing is, like, you build your dinner off one ingredient. It's like you get a tin of beans, but I don't want the beans to be that. Well, with bean chili, I do. But you know what I mean? Like, you got to work it around the smallest unit, and sometimes that means fuckloads of stuff. Because I like a bit of variety.
How are you having a variety, having the same thing every day?
Well, no, but like I make a bolognese or something, and I don't just want it to be whatever. I want it to be mushrooms and other.
But can't you
Bolognese
then
is a
freeze
bad example. The bolognese is a bad example. There's not that much in it. Like I have a curry, and like I want a bit of paneer in there, and pepper, and spinach, and broccoli, and mushrooms. I want a bit, but then it becomes massive because there's stuff.
But then just make a load and then portion it up and freeze it.
Not everything freezes well.
Most stuff freezes.
It all freezes. I've got a fucking freezer full of smoked mackerel stew. But the potatoes didn't freeze well.
What do you mean the potatoes didn't freeze well?
They're coming out all grainy.
Drainy?
Grainy. Like a mealy apple.
Oh no, we hate mealy apples.
I hate mealy apples. Pro-unions,
Fuck you,
down with
Chris.
mealy apples.
We hate mealy apples.
Anyway, cabbage comes from the terminal
Ron,
leaf.
that's it. That's the end of the episode.
At least let me finish the small smear of content that we started.
We didn't start anything.
Because we're going to have to lose 5 minutes up at the top.
Why?
Cabbage comes from the terminal leaf buds. Brussels sprouts from the lateral leaf buds.
This is going to have to be in the quiz, isn't it?
Broccoli
Cabbage,
is the
terminal.
flower buds
hang on,
and stem.
Hang on. Cabbage terminal. What else did you say?
Brussels sprouts lateral.
Whoa. Excuse me. Brussels lateral.
Kale is the leaves.
Yeah.
And kohlrabi is the stem.
What did you say about broccoli? Flowers?
Flower buds and stem.
All right, well.
Yeah, and what people did was they recognised we could eat this plant, and then they just bred the ones that had the biggest leaves together until we had kale. And Barbara Brocolli?
Oh my God, you can't tell me this fact again or I'm going to kill
Barbara
you.
Brocolli, the woman that's behind modern James Bond. She's not named after broccoli.
I simply won't. I will sit here and talk into the microphone without my headphones on, Ron. If you start saying it again when I put these back in, I'm just going to end it, and the next thing the listeners will hear is a sting, and there will be a quiz, which will just be me going cabbage, terminal, Brussels, lateral, kale, leaves, kohlrabi, stem, broccoli, flower buds and stem, and that'll be it.
Broccoli is named after...
Biology.
Hiya.
Hi. There was absolutely naff all content in this episode, wasn't there?
Yeah, so I'm going to stop playing with that.
What are you playing with? You willy? Put it away, mate.
Capo.
Capo.
Or a capo, as Americans would say it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because don't they call capo is like a boss in the mafia?
Capotan.
Capo.
Anyway, there really was not a lot of content in this episode.
Cabbages.
Oh, right. So what I've decided to do, Laura, is I've got a few questions that we're going to talk about, but then you're also going to answer some riddles.
Ooh!
Laura, the more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Constipation medication.
It works, but no. The answer is footsteps, and you leave footprints. Now, I don't really rate this riddle very highly because those are different things.
Yeah. The more you take, the more you leave behind. Yeah?
I just think it would be cleaner if it was the same thing.
I didn't think like that. I thought, what can you take more of in order to leave more? Like, you don't eat poo to leave the poo in your butt.
Wait, what do you mean leave the poo in your butt? What do you think constipation medicine does?
Keeps you constipated.
Nobody wants to be constipated.
Sometimes you do. If you've got diarrhea, you take medicine to stop pooping.
Yeah, but not to constipate yourself.
No,
to
but
get
okay,
rid of diarrhea.
No, but sometimes you need to stop pooping.
Anyway, all right, first question of the actual quiz. Laura, can you name 4 distinct use cases for selective breeding?
No. Should I be able to?
Yes.
I've written down selective breeding.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just a list of vegetables. Make the animals bigger?
Animals which produce more meat or milk. Ding.
Healthier species? Like breeding out weaknesses.
In?
Plants and animals. Plants.
Disease resistance in food crops. Ding. Good job, Laura. 2 more.
Variations to vary the food supply. For example, brassica olisseria.
No, I'm not giving you that one.
Why?
Because that's not one.
Making up new foods.
No, I'm not giving you that one.
Why?
Because they didn't go, only tender stem broccoli did they do that, but that happened in the 90s.
Barbara Brocolli.
Did you know?
Named after a broccoli.
No, Barbara
broccoli used to be called Barbara.
Broccoli is actually named after Barbara Broccoli's family.
No. You and your bloody fact, you're like Tom with his fucking green wasabi. Jesus.
Wow, turn your head. Your hair at the back is great.
Is it? What's happened?
It's just, you look like Pride Rock.
Oh yeah, it's really sticky uppy. Yeah. I don't not look like a flock of seagulls right now.
Yeah, it's very Chandler in Flashbacks.
It is, isn't it? That's fun. I've got a triangular head. I look like an upside down ice cream. Right, so improving meat supply, disease resistance, selective breeding.
What other things do we breed?
Babies.
What? It's always
dog species
eugenics with you,
like
isn't it?
Specific species of dogs, like getting sexy dogs for crufts.
I'll give you it. Domestic dogs with gentle nature, usually, because we're taming them from wolves. And the last one we didn't actually talk about,
I
but
don't think we talked about any of this.
the last one is, how can I lead you there? I'm not going to bother. You don't get it. It's large or unusual flowers.
Yeah, that one's stupid. That one's really stupid. I used to have a great book about a man that grew a big marrow and then a big slug, I think, ate the town. Babette Cole.
Yeah, great.
Remember that book?
I remember that one.
Babette Cole, Enormous Vegetables. It was something like that.
And then all the bugs got really big to eat the enormous vegetables.
Yeah. The Trouble with Grandad.
Yes.
That's what it's called. And he made these massive vegetables, and then like they made a police station out of a big marrow.
Oh.
Great book.
Yeah, great stuff. What a nice granddad. Really nice granddad in that.
Troubling though.
Good stuff. Anyway, so Laura.
Yep.
What 8-letter word can have a letter taken away and still makes a word? Take another letter away and it still makes a word. Keep on doing that until you have one left. What is the word?
What 8-letter word?
What 8-letter word can you keep on taking letters away and it still makes a word until you've just got one letter?
Oh, is it
Remove one letter from it. 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 Remove the last letter from it.
A.
Well, it does work. It's not the one I've got written down, but I'll give you the mark for that.
Woo!
The answer that they've got is starting.
Tarting? Arting?
No, staring.
Oh, I thought it had to be from each end.
Nobody told you that.
That's not a riddle as much as you've lost a day sitting down doing a puzzle.
Yeah, that's not a riddle. They worked out that you could do this with the word starting, and then...
Yeah, that's not a riddle. If a sphinx said that to me, I'd just walk away.
I think if I was to use this riddle more, I'd, or like, you know, if I wanted it to be more clever, I'd like say, what 8-letter word what word starting with 8 letters, you know, like... have it in there.
Yeah.
Because it goes starting, staring, string, sting, sing, sin, in, I.
Yeah, okay.
It does work, but it's not exciting.
No, and also this would have been a very long quiz if I'd actually sat down to work that out.
Yeah. Laura, please discuss the mechanism with which that selective breeding takes place.
What on earth are you talking about? Mechanism?
Yeah, how does it work?
Like a lock?
Yeah, like a lock. Describe the lock that's involved with selective breeding.
What do you mean, mechanism?
How it works. How do you selectively breed?
You choose 2 animals that have the features that you want and you breed them together and hope that their babies have it.
And then?
And then you get, you know, more and do it again. And
More
then
what?
More ones with the features you want. Smash them together.
Where do you get the more from?
Like maybe from the offspring, or maybe you have to use another one if none of the offspring had it.
Yeah, all right. I'll give you half the marks for that.
Why?
It's just a bit of shit.
No.
It just wasn't very good. It wasn't wrong, but it just wasn't good.
Okay.
Okay, Laura. What has a head, a tail, is brown, and has no legs?
A head, a tail, is brown and has no legs. I don't know why the is brown is so funny. A boo?
No, it's not a poo. Poos don't have heads or tails.
They do.
Do they?
Yeah. What about a penny?
It is a penny!
Yay!
Is it because I said heads or tails like that?
No, I just thought for longer after my joke answer of a poo.
Okay, Laura. What are the downsides of selective breeding and how do they occur?
You might be breeding in weaknesses that you can't see in the genome because they're quiet bits. You have genetic variation is a species is always stronger with big genetic variants. The more you downpipe the genes, the easier it is for things to go wrong. And the dogs can't breathe sometimes.
I wasn't listening. Can you say all of that again?
No.
All right, I'll give
Rewind
you all
the tape.
marks.
Thank you.
Okay, and last question.
The doctor is his mother.
David's father has 3 sons. Snap, Crackle, and who?
David.
It is David. These riddles suck. Can you name 3 consecutive days without using the words Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
Yesterday, today, tomorrow.
Yes, I thought Christmas Eve, Christmas, Boxing Day.
I love it, Ron. Yes. Maundy Thursday, Good Friday,
No, because you
Easter
said Thursday
Saturday.
and Friday and
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah. Well, I got it right the first time, so whack whack.
A doctor and a bus driver are both in love with the same woman and an attractive girl named Sarah. Oh, sorry, not and. A doctor and a bus driver are both in love with the same woman, an attractive girl named Sarah. The bus driver had to go on a long bus trip that would last at least a week. Before he left, he gave Sarah 7 apples. Why?
To keep the doctor away
Yeah.
every day.
That sucks as well.
That's more like a joke.
Yeah, that is a joke. I think this one's a joke as well. What room do ghosts avoid?
What room? Avoid. What are ghosts scared of? Nothing really. What are you scared of once you're dead? What room do ghosts avoid? How do you get rid of a ghost?
Luigi?
Luigi room?
They're scared of Luigi.
Imagine if you went to someone's house and they just had a whole room dedicated to Luigi.
This is the Luigi room.
Marry them. Imagine then you take off your clothes, you got a Luigi costume underneath.
Either that or it's a Romeo and Juliet thing and you've got a Mario room.
Yeah.
Or worse, a Waluigi room.
Wow, Luigi. Wait, what was the question? What room are
do
ghosts
ghosts avoid?
avoid? What wouldn't a ghost want to hang out
I'll give
in?
you a clue. It's not
Yeah.
a specific room, as in it's not like the Oval Office.
Okay, it's a type of room.
Yeah.
Okay, so ghosts, they might be jealous of people with bodies. There's not really such a thing
body
as a
shop.
body room. Oh, yeah. They like to say ooh or boo. Spectre.
Boots?
The boot room.
Boots?
But you'd think they'd love that because they love to say boo.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with things that ghosts aren't into. Because
They're
a ghost
such a
is just
happy-go-lucky
person with
bunch.
fewer limitations. What does a ghost not want? A busting room? I don't know, Ron. This one's got me stumped.
The living room.
Oh! It was staring me in the face.
You're in the living room.
I'm in the dining room.
Better start believing in living rooms, Laura. What belongs to you but is used by others?
What belongs to me but is used... My name.
Yes! You live in a one-storey house made entirely of red wood. What colour would the stairs be?
There wouldn't be any. I live in a one-storey house.
Yeah, you don't get caught out.
No.
I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?
A plant? No, they are alive. Mould. Black mold.
Also alive.
Oh. Say it again?
I'm not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me.
I don't know. Don't know that one.
Fire.
Fire.
Yeah.
Still, after all these years,
Don't understand.
fire gets me every time.
All right, last one.
I think because it said air, and actually, fire does not need air. It needs oxygen.
Which is in the...
It is in the air on, but it could be in a vacuum that just had oxygen and didn't have the other components of air, and it would be fine.
Sure.
Science.
Last one.
Okay.
A boy at a carnival... Sorry. A boy was at a carnival and went to a booth where a man said to the boy, "If I write your exact weight on this piece of paper, then you have to give me $50. But if I cannot, I will pay you $50. The boy looked around and saw no scale, so he agrees, thinking no matter what the carny writes, he'll just say he weighs more or less.
I don't think he can say carny anymore.
In the end, the boy ended up paying the man $50. How did the man win the bet?
Right, say it again.
A boy was at a carnival and went
You
to
can
a
leave
booth
out all
where-
the illustrations.
A boy was at a carnival and went to a booth where a man said to the boy, "If I write your exact weight on this piece of..." It's dollars, isn't it? So it'd be... oh my God, if I write your exact weight on this piece of paper, then you have to give me $50. But if I cannot, then I will pay you $50. The boy looked around and saw no scale, so he agrees, thinking no matter what the carnival working man writes, he'll just say he weighs more or less. In the end, the boy ended up paying the man $50. How did the man win the bet?
Maybe he meant wait as in how long you're going to wait.
Nope, that's not the
Maybe
answer.
the
But that's
chair
good.
with some scales.
That's good.
Thank you. That's when it helps to think in spellings. Are the chair made of scales?
What chair?
I don't know. Or the booth was a weighing machine?
No.
The little boy was just too innocent, just couldn't lie. He was so surprised that the man realised
Realised what?
what he weighed.
How did the man know?
Okay, he's just good at looking at him and gauging it.
No.
Did he use one of those, he put a hook in the back of his neck, lifted him up on one of those suitcase weighing things?
No, this one's really dumb.
Do all little boys weigh the same? No. I don't know.
The man, it says in the answer, the man did exactly as he said he would, and he wrote your exact weight on the
That one's rubbish.
That one's rubbish.
Well, I did much better on riddles than I did on science.
Yeah. That was fun, wasn't it? We should have done a
Yeah.
riddles podcast this whole time. Put it on the list. We'll do a riddles Patreon episode.
Okay.
And we should make up our own riddles for each other.
Oh, yeah. It's going in.
That will be
What's
fun.
that? A wet break. That's a wet break, really, isn't it?
It's nothing. If anything, it's a wet break.
Yeah.
Done a pop quiz in a while.
Well, no,
We were all the fucking time.
We were scheduled to have one, but then because we started recapping physics, I thought we will leave off pop quizzes for a bit.
Fair. What a merry time that was.
So much biology.
Yeah. I liked the bit where we talked about biology, and do you know what my second favourite bit was?
Was
the
it this
where
bit? And then you can cut and edit a bit of it to put in here.
I won't do that.
Replay it like a clips episode.
No, my second favourite bit would have been the quiz, probably. For me, it goes main bulk and then quiz. Those are my two favourites. What about you?
I think I loved all the sound effects. I was really surprised by all the new sound effects that you chose to use in that episode. I thought that was really clever.
Are you talking about your ear?
No, because we don't actually know if that was in this episode. No, I mean all of the downloaded sound effects that you found and put in and enjoyed doing. I liked the interjections where you recorded little bits to put in as like mini reviews of the podcast as it was going along.
Why are you putting all this pressure on when I've got to do all of this in a day, including intros, outros?
Because you've just had a holiday, so fuck you.
Well, you never do anything. And then you go on holiday, and then you come back and it's the same old shite every week.
Mate, I'm slogging through our fucking bank holiday episode, trying to sort it out so that we're not having conversations with 9 years ago versions of ourselves.
Yeah. Well done.
Why are you so antagonistic? Have you not had lunch?
I have had lunch.
Oh, then you're just being horrible. It's not even that you're hungry.
No.
I have to go to
Full.
the dentist.
If anything,
after
I'm
this.
full.
I'm hungry. Maybe it's me being horrible. No, it's you. Anyway, Ron, I wanted to say to the patrons, I haven't forgotten the tea towel. The tea towel is still in development. I just haven't had a chance to sort it all out yet. But child of the podcast now goes to nursery. So I have a few hours a week to get some stuff done. So
Woo.
It's coming. I reckon it'll be sort of in the pipeline by the summer. So do keep your eyes peeled.
Then you can dry your teas with this towel.
Yeah, man, you can have so much tea. You can drain all the tea from the towel.
What do you think they called tea towels before people started drinking tea in the UK?
I think people have been drinking tea since before towels existed.
Then what did they dry things with before tea? Did things just get
I don't
wet?
think they did dry things. I think you just had things dirty and wet.
You don't think the Romans had towels?
I think the Romans had tea.
I don't think the Romans had tea.
I think the Romans had tea because they inspected tea leaves.
What?
Yeah, they were all into tea leaves, weren't they?
Tea.
And I don't mean thieves for all our Cockney listeners.
Some of the foods that we know and love today were unknown to the Romans, including bananas, chili pepper, corn, sugar, peanuts, tea, rice, chocolate, tomatoes, potato, and coffee. No, they didn't have tea.
Yeah,
Fuck
they did.
me, can you imagine how productive they'd have been at, screwing the world up if they were caffeinated while they were doing it? Jesus Christ.
I'm often interested in what, because Romans drank wine and stuff. I wonder what that wine actually tasted like. Do you think we'd have recognised it as wine?
I think so, because it would still be made out of grapes. I do wonder. Yeah, I think what would have varied, or could have potentially varied, would have been how strong it was, because they had, wine sort of feels a very specific type of drink for us, whereas for them, there's, they didn't have Baileys or Tia Maria or like schnapps probably. So I think, wine might have been more wide-reaching. In the same way that like people used to drink like really weak beer because all the water had poo in it.
Yeah. I got distracted thinking about a bit I could do about how before tea towels we had teat owls and you would use a heavily nippled owl to dry your stuff.
Weirdly, that's actually a joke that's already been done in Pappy's Flatshare Slam Down, the episode with Paul F. Tompkins.
Oh!
Teat owl.
Yeah.
Teat owl.
Because do you know sometimes words do that? Like I was listening to this thing called Etymologicon, that book that I enjoyed. And did you know that aprons used to be called naprons? And it's an example of the N moving from the A, from the word to the A. So it used to be a napron. And then it changed within language to become an apron. And sometimes N's and like words like that just sort of jump from one to the other.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess that because it goes from the nape of your neck.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Can you hear Shout of the podcast?
Yeah.
She's so great at the moment. It's time for the register, Ron.
Register.
By the way, the day of recording, it's only 7 months until the next advent calendar.
Register.
It's a very special register today, Ron, with only one person on the register, and that person is Kristen. Kristen got in touch to say, hey dudes, where's my thank you? And we were like, we've fucking done it, Kristen, you idiot. Shut up.
Yeah.
Kristen did some
away.
research. We haven't done it, Ron. We bloody haven't done it. No. What happened, Ron, is Kristen is one of the absolute swarthy brillianters that left us a review on Apple Podcasts. And we read that out and said thank you for that. But we haven't thanked them for being a patron.
You fucking what, Kristen?
I don't think we can blame Kristen for this. Kristen has done 2 good things for the patron, i.e. financially supported it, and left us a review that's real nice. And for some reason...
No, I can see it here on the list. Kristen L., guitar player for Bob Marley as they cheer up the Ho-Downing Sad Boys. However, they are leaving the band due to a past torrid love affair with one of the sound engineers, a.k.a. Neutrons. They're the 3rd person we did it for.
Oh. So what, like right back? No, we weren't. When did we start doing the register?
Fuck knows.
Okay, well, say that again, less angry with Kristen.
No, Kristen. Kiss your own ass.
No, Kristen. Smooch. What's the opposite of kissing your own ass? Just appreciate it without touching it. Appreciate that ass, but take the lips away. I don't mind thanking people twice, Ron. And thanks for the review and for the patron money. We're so grateful to all of it. And for some reason, the software that shows us we've got reviews sends me your review every 3rd month or so I just get to reread it. And I like it. Also, thank you to the person that left a review that literally just said this is to counteract the 1-star review and called them a butt muncher or something. That really made me laugh.
Love that energy.
It was a quote of yours, they said. Munch some fat turds or something. What was it? Hang on. Oh, another Ron sound effect. Meaty tads, that was it.
Meaty tads.
Eat a bag of meaty tads. Thank you, Tiny Ninja 22. Very grateful.
Yeah. But yeah, Kristen, get out of town. You got a classic Lexx Ed reference for yours. Sad Boys. Really pervasive. Comes from episode fucking 2. So if that's not good enough for you, you can have the Patreon money back.
I think it was... No, they can't. It's already spent and on gel pens. And second, I think it was good enough, Ron. There was just some confusion. Please stop being so angry and bitter.
No, I work really hard at this podcast. I can't be having listeners just like... We're not... Look...
Ron, we can't remember what happens in this episode people are listening to.
Look,
but you want them to
shut
remember...
your whore's mouth as well. Look, I have kept up one segment.
But not
in the episode.
So I don't know if we're going to say that this is a segment that's been kept up.
So I just won't have it.
That was nice, wasn't it? What a lovely end to the episode. Thank you for your support.
We love you,
but
Kristen.
Maybe not thank you. Maybe fuck you. Maybe we don't appreciate you at all. And it's all just a thin veneer of pretending to be your friend in a parasocial relationship so that you give us money. Maybe it's that. Is that what you want, Ron?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We love you, really, everyone. I thought it would be funny if I was just cross.
It was. Yeah, just say class dismissed.
Oh, sorry, class dismissed. That's another segment. That's another segment that I've kept up.
I have to remind you every dang day.
Yeah. Do I have to say it again?